I'm Stephen Orvis, and in this demo for Odoo, I'm going through a use case for a local furniture store that I noticed, running through how perhaps Odoo could be of use to them and how it could help their business. So first I'm going to go to demo.odoo.com. That spins up a quick instance of Odoo that is pre-populated with some demo data to give you a subdomain name off of odoo.com, and it has some apps installed, some you may have to install. Odoo is a full ERP. It's open source at its core with some open source modules, but it has paid modules, which are what we're looking at right now. All these apps are a paid module. That can be had for a per user subscription price for all of them for free, or all of those combined, not for free. So you get the website, accounting, inventories, sales, everything for one price per user, depending upon the number of users in the instance. There is an open source hosting where you can self-host and use open source version of Odoo and then install some open source modules and do it that way too. It's a little more complex. If you have a smaller number of users actually need to be in Odoo, and they need to do a wide variety of actions, this could be a quite cost-effective way because this can replace potentially a lot of different apps. So I was going to run through some probable use cases that could be replacement of the existing ones. So the first one would be the website. Odoo can host as many websites as you want for the same price. So you can come into configuration and then settings and then websites, and so you could just add multiple websites here. You can attach a website to a company, so if you had sub-companies in some way, you can use multi-company mode. If you didn't, you could have multiple websites for the same company. You can attach a custom domain name onto Odoo, and it would go to that website, which also works for the ERP instance itself. When you're using it, if you attached a custom domain name, it would then use that domain name instead of Odoo's domain name. So that's useful there. The website is fairly standard for WYSIWYG. You have blocks. You can click edit. You can change the page with the blocks. Notable blocks uh, would be the map one, where you can show a map location. You can show social media cards. There's individual cards that you can make. Uh, you can do columns, but then products, that gets into the e-com side of Odoo, which lets you have a e-com website where you could have products for sale and have individual prices for products, have variants of products. And the power with this now is, since we're in the ERP, and so here you can see the sample loaded data by default, you can see some attributes on the left that they have with the legs type, steel, aluminum, you have sizes, colors. On a drilling down on that one, you can pick the legs for this desk and even know that that is an add-on there for that. You can add to cart, and you could do a full checkout with this. And you can also pick different types of shipping. There's a way to have it calculate shipping, or there's a way that you could have it do local pickup if that was important to the store. Since in this case, the one I'm looking at has multiple locations, so in-store pickup might be a decent option there. And then you can integrate with different payment gateways. So with this, and I'm going to jump into the ERP side now. So first, before I go there, on this product page, I can edit the details for this product. This is like the website. I can come in here, add some text, and then hit save, and then that's the text on the page. And I can optimize the SEO, see just what it's going to look like in Google. My desk, and you can say whatever you want. You can pick the image you want Google to see, and so now this is also for your social media too, for that preview. And so this is a good way to optimize the SEO for individual products, so that can help people find your items on the website. You don't have to have items being sold for a price. You could turn off the selling and just make it informational only to there. So going to the ERP side now, I'm going to hit product, and it takes us over to the product in the ERP. I can see the number of variants here at the top. I can see the quantity I have on hand. And up here are some options on how it can be sold. Odoo, as an ERP, does have a point of sale system as well. The cool thing with Odoo is you don't have to use everything in Odoo. You can pick and choose what makes sense for your individual case. So there may be software that you already have or your team's already using and you don't want to switch everything. So you could just switch over what makes sense, and maybe over time the strategy might just be to switch everything. Alright, so items here that are useful or interesting would be the variants, and you can see they're the legs and the colors, so that's how they did that. So if I drill down and pick that, you can see that's where the extra price came from. It was configured in there. And let's go look at the quantity on hand. So there you have the product and the quantity on hand. So they're tracking the inventory. Odoo has a variety of ways to track inventory. One can be by location here, which in this case I think it's just tracking the inventory on the product though. So if you're tracking the inventory by location, you can have a warehouse, a shelf on a warehouse, tagged in Odoo, and it would actually know where that individual item was at. You can even have lots in Odoo with serial numbers, so you could have serial numbered items and know exactly where that specific item is within Odoo. So jumping back to the main menu in Odoo, you could go to products by typing in products, and then selecting whichever one you're searching, and then finding it takes you to the same place. So the people in the back end normally wouldn't necessarily be browsing the website, even if they're doing sales, maybe doing a sales order. If you come here and you prepare a quotation, you can quickly find a customer. If it doesn't exist, you can just hit create, or you can hit create and edit. I'll do create for now, just make it easy to find them. So add a product and do a chair, and you can just add in the product that you want, pick the options, and then there's an add-on here too. It's prompting the salesperson, hey, maybe this is a good add-on to ask the customer about. And you can see the taxes that would be applied. Odoo defaulted to 15%. You can use AvaTax, so you can tax per price code, or if everything was just a standard PA 6% sales tax, you could configure the taxes to be that as well. And one of the neat things with Odoo is being able to send an invoice or a quotation, and you can customize the invoices and add extra information. So if there's a certain manufacturer that maybe they had a level of quality that was better, maybe there's a little blurb about them, that could be in the quotation. Here you have an online view of that quotation, and I'm looking for the actual PDF printout of the quotation here, which confirm previews in my email. That might be it there. So there you see the quotation, and you can edit this template. Like I said, individual products can have items that would be inserted into the quotation. So by product, you can have specific items added to that quotation. So talking of quotations, you have a CRM system where you can have item contacts coming in. They might have a request. The request could come in whether manually entered. You could use a web API call to create them. You could have a form on your website that you fill out and it turns into a CRM lead. You could have emails sent to a certain email address turn into a CRM lead, and then once you have the lead, when you're ready for that quotation, you can click new quotation right there, and then it will go right into that, creating a quotation for that person. So one other item with the furniture store, I noticed that they had a repair place on their website, and so Odoo can do management of repairs as well, which may need another app here. So with Odoo, by default, it doesn't install too many apps, but you can just install them if you need them. There's repairs. One of the neat things too with Odoo, in addition to managing your inventory, it also has a concept of bill of materials, so you can make items out of items. It could be a kit. Maybe a couch always comes with a coffee table and it's just a kit. Uh, but you could also make the materials of the couch or maybe of the chair, and it would be able to know how many are in your inventory to sell based on the bill of materials that's available. And then, of course, if multiple items shared some of the items in that bill of materials, it would track it for both as they sell, keeping track of the inventory available. All right, so back to repairs now. So again, we have some demo data in here. You can see that there's a product, this corner desk, and if someone was doing a repair, they might need a screw, for example. Grab a screw here, so they do the repair. And there's a concept of under warranty, not under warranty, and then there can be a person who's doing that repair as well. And you have the customer that it's for, and of course this is your repair number too, so you can track the repair. If someone calls in about it, what's going on with it. I'm gonna hit here, confirm repair, and then the person doing the repair can start the repair. They can add more items if they need to as they go. There's the catalog. That's a little easier than the add the line item. Maybe uh, there's a bolt there. Add that in. We'll grab 2 of those. Now we have 2 bolts in there, and we can see that they're valuable in our inventory that we can use them too. And I'll check used here and used, and then I'm going to save and end the repair. All right. Initial demand and actual quantity there is used. That might be. I think because I used 1 bolt instead of 2 bolts, that was the problem there. All right. So from there, once you're done, you can create a quotation for the customer if they have to pay for this repair. So now it has knows that their desk, they're repairing it, and then you have the bolts. You can add labor onto that as well to see what that was. And going back to the repair. Okay. Odoo also has project management. So very similar to Trello, you can have boards within each of these would be equivalent to a board in Trello workspace. I think they call them. You can customize these columns, change them to what they want. I have another YouTube video talking about automations and neat things like that you can do. You can make email addresses bring these items into the project too. So there's a good bit you can do with that. A cool thing with this is you can integrate with what's in Odoo. So like here you have a sales order in context, you have documents in context of that item, and you can even have timesheets, so you've been tracking the time spent on this project. So perhaps if you were doing a bigger job, you might be for a large customer, you might have more tasks involved and more time to tracking, making sure that you're on your labor costs. So there's some advanced features that Odoo project could enable to do things like that. Or you can just use it as a simple task board, and it works pretty good for that too, really. All right. So I think the other item that I didn't cover would be the request forms on the website. So back to the website for a few things here. One would be forms, and I will just make a form in the home page here. And you have a few options with a form. You can make a form be a way for people to sign up for your newsletter. You can make it be a way for them to create a CRM lead. You can have it be a way for them to create an email. That's up to you what you want to do. Right here you just click action, so apply for job, create a customer, ticket, so that would be a help desk. We didn't cover that. I can actually go over that in a second here. That opportunity, and that's the lead. And the task would be a project task. And you do have more options too. Any model with an Odoo you actually can be interacting with there, but those are the out-of-the-box ones. And you can add your own custom fields there. You can see a plus add field here. If you don't like a field, maybe you don't want the phone number, you can just drop it right out and it's gone. So the fields in Odoo are super powerful on the website, it can give you a lot of flexibility to interacting with the rest of the ERP in the back end. All right. Blog would be the other one here to look at. Odoo has a pretty good blog system built in. Similar concept with pages where you can have a page with items on it. You can tag items. So that's more or less built in. You can add YouTube videos onto the pages themselves. It knows how to embed them and like that. So it does pretty good with blog content as well. All right, I had, one more item here, and that was tickets, the help desk. So you may have customers with support issues and you want a way to track them and manage them. There's a few different ways to do it, but help desk is probably the right way, and it could also be used internally too. There's an IT team involved. They might have help desk, or even HR might have tickets, something like that. So you can create a help desk team, and then within the team you can set up an email address alias, so any emails coming to that alias, so whatever domain name you set would then automatically show into the help desk team. You have the tickets within the help desk. You have an SLA policy to see how far along each of them is getting. Again, the Kanban view is customizable. You can change it to be what you want. In Odoo, one of the cool things with it, since you have this the ERP backing you up, all these filters and group bys, this is standard across all of the modules. You pretty much always have this search bar at the top, and it has super good power, just being able to group and filter things. And so like create date is one that I have used before and is helpful. You can have that in here. You see that they're all created today because we're working on that today. And you can do a subgrouping too, so we could group by customer and see that there. And so now you can see a subgrouping by customer, and that can get as complex as you want. You have pivot charts that you can build out as well. And with Odoo Studio, if you get really deep, you can actually make your own charts and graphs too if something doesn't work out of the box. But that's help desk, and it's a good way to keep track of customer requests. And Odoo, in of itself, you could be talking to a customer through email and have that conversation going back and forth in the chatter with them. You just click send a message and it would send an email to that person, and when they email back, Odoo, based on the email header, recognizes it and then would add that to this conversation, and whoever is following it would get a notification that the person answered, and then the user, the customer service rep, could come back in and answer that question or whatever it was from the customer. And you do have convert into opportunity here too. So again, that tie-in with the rest of the system, this is where Odoo really shines, is this crisscross talk between all the different points of the system, even down to the contact, which is kind of the core essence of Odoo. You have a contact, and that contact can be associated to other records. In this case, that was the employee there, so you could see the org chart of the employee, things like that. If you drill down, there's the customer record there. You can see their opportunities, meetings you've had with themselves. Odoo can get even deeper. Call center, it can do a VoIP phone and even do online meeting calls as well. But again, it comes down to what makes sense. With Odoo, oftentimes they say the best way to get started is just picking one app that you have a gap for or that you need, and then using it there and having success with it in that area. And then moving forwards from there, you can find other ways that it would be of help. So that is the demo in bulk, and just some highlighting features that I think could be useful to a furniture store that has multiple locations. I think specifically the website and probably the inventory might be useful, but I think they would already have an inventory system, so that might be more about integrating with the existing system using some webhooks, and then you could potentially sell products on the website then as well, because you could do pricing. There's rules you could set up that would give your margin of profit, and it could pull the pricing from the other system, and you could at least have customers shopping online and seeing the cost of things. It'd be a great entry place, and if there's other gaps, Odoo is there to pretty much take over what's needed, whether timesheet, payroll, events, job search, as far as having a jobs page application. It's a whole ERP, so it does everything. It's a good price, but you have to use the pieces of it to get the full value out of that price if you get a lot of users in it.